And howdy do. I've got a series. I'm outside and I got a glare, so I don't know what you can see or what you can't, to be honest with you, because I can't see shit at the moment. But my smoker's behind me. I'm about to have my first beer of the day, and my last, my last Fall City Pale Ale. So let me pop and pour, and I'll read a little bit from this bottle here. There we go. That poured nice. There we go. For my way of thinking, that's a perfect pour. You should have a head about like that. There you go. Kind of a light copper color. It's got an interesting aroma to it. Let me read a little bit from them here. Fall City began as a craft beer in 1905, made in small batches with only the finest ingredients. This new English-style pale ale is handcrafted in small batches and is reminiscent of the style that Fall City made up until 1935. You know, it's a typical story like many. I mean, they were bought and sold, the product got weaker and weaker until it became nothing of what it was supposed to be to start with. The truth is, this isn't a bad beer, but it's not a great one either. It's got a couple fundamental issues. One, it's not. I don't. I just. This doesn't feel like I'm drinking a pale ale. It just doesn't. It's got a body and taste more reminiscent of a cream ale than a pale ale, and it runs about $8.99 a 6 pack in most places. I did see it at a couple stores for $8.49. It's just too much for what this beer is. It really is. This beer really ought to run about $6.99, and they really should take pale off the label and just call it Fall City Ale. And I think they'd have better luck. This is one of those beers a name only, to be honest with you, though. It is contract brewed for them. Oh, I just dropped that there. Darn it. Oh, shoot. It's contract brewed for them. I'm always curious why people do things the way they do. This beer isn't enough to get craft beer drinkers to buy it on a regular basis. But it costs too much to get macro drinkers to buy it. Oh, I just twisted something there when I picked that up. I pulled my muscle. Anyway, you don't need to know that. So anyway, the beer whisperers are having issues. How about that? It costs too much for macro drinkers to buy it. There's not enough flavor to get craft drinkers to buy it on a regular basis. You know, this 5% it says there's a lot of guys like me out there that like nostalgia. We like nostalgic brands, and I would personally love to have seen them just brew the beer exactly how they did it back in 1905. Even if the end product is a light lager, give me that original recipe. That nostalgia alone, just that on the label exactly the way it was, is going to sell your product. But trying to invent a pale ale that's not really a pale ale, you know, at a price that people just aren't going to pay for it long term, it just the logic escapes me. But I mean, I think they'd be better off scrapping this pale ale. They've also got a wheat that I didn't try. Scrapping both products, brewing their original beer with the original recipe the way it was intended, and people are going to buy it just because that's what it is. I guarantee you, brew it and they will come. Craft guy, even older, maybe the younger craft guys won't get it, right? Maybe the younger craft guys don't get it. They're not into nostalgia as much as some of us older guys. But folks my age and above, maybe slightly younger too, let's say over 40-ish, are going would buy this if it said original recipe on that label and they meant it. People would buy this product, but it really ought to be the way it is. It ought to be about $6.99. With the original product, I think they could probably sell it for $8. And there you go. This is my last Fall City Pale Ale, man.